Hey everyone, Tim Alatorre here, back with another exciting video on accessory dwelling units. I find them exciting, hopefully you do too. If you haven't heard, some new laws went into effect January 1st of 2020 in California, and it's a extension of a series of laws that have been going into effect over the last couple of years, making it easier for you to build additional rental units or housing on your property. So you can either build them as a junior accessory dwelling unit inside your house or a detached structure. If you haven't already, check out our video on those laws. We've also done a video on how much does it cost to build an accessory dwelling unit and how do you pay for it. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most exciting things for me: how do you make money with your accessory dwelling unit? If you haven't already, check out our book, Inside the Mind of an Architect. It features myself and a number of architects, prominent architects from around the world, where we talk about what it's like to design, some of our design philosophies, the things that go into making a good design. It's a good read. So with that, let's get started. Payback, right? Pay off. So one of the things with an ADU is it can't be sold separately from the main house. It's all in the same parcel and they're all sold together. But you can rent them. So the law that went into effect on January 1st allows until 2025 for the ADU and the main residence to not be owner occupied. So you could have a rental property, build an ADU, and both of those can be rented out. Now, currently, the current law allows each local city to decide whether or not short-term rentals are allowed. And what we're talking about, short-term rentals, are like an Airbnb situation where you're renting out a property for less than 30 days at a time. Some jurisdictions define short-term rentals as anything less than 60 or 90 days. But if you are in a jurisdiction which allows it, you could potentially have the main residence be a long-term rental and the ADU could be like an Airbnb. So that's a great option. Now for the junior ADUs, those are ADUs that are enclosed within the footprint of the main house. The current law does not allow those to be rented without the primary owner living in the primary residence, the property owner. So what that means is if you have a junior ADU, you can be living in the main house and renting out the junior ADU. And I think the junior ADU, the concept is that that's more like a family member or a close friend. You know, you might be sharing a bathroom. You know, it's just more of an intimate relationship scenario, where the ADU, that's some college student or some renter. You know, it's just not worried about it. Okay, so let's look at what we're getting currently for rents. So we did a survey, and this is based on a report actually that was issued to the city council for the city of Rockland. They did a survey and they found that rents, the extremely low rent for a studio apartment in our area right now is $388 a month. And you can see here on the chart, it goes up to $1,700 a month. And up to a two-bedroom where you're getting about $490 a month, up to about $2,200 a month. So what that means is your payoff period for a one-bedroom ADU would be about 3 years on the short end, up to 13 years. So that's actually pretty good. If you're looking at a real estate investment, especially if you can get those higher rents, you can build that ADU and rent it out, and within about 3 years you got the whole thing paid off. And now it's an investment property for you and it's making money. Now if you're not getting those high rents, 13 years is a bit of a long time to get a payoff. But if you're renting it out to a family member and you're saving money by not having them in a long-term care facility or renting something from somebody else, you have equity in your house, right? You've gained some equity in your house, and so that helps to offset those rents. You can use an ADU for just about anything, right? You can use it for a she shed, a pool house, a man cave, an office, a workshop, a spot for your grandparents, adult children, the list goes on and on. So being able to build that for an immediate need and have the option to make a little bit of extra income on the side down the road if that family member is no longer there or you don't need the space, or if you're a developer and you have a property that you're renting out and you want to maximize the rent on that property, you know, take out a loan, build an ADU, 3 years later, you're making some money off of it. That's also a really attractive option. And one thing we didn't talk about, and and we didn't because it varies so much area by area, is the resale value and the value add of having 1 or 2 accessory dwelling units on your property. And we're not seeing a whole lot of comps right now, so it's really hard to kind of nail that down, which is why we're not talking about it in this video. But definitely talk with your local realtor and find out what potential resale value and additional equity you get from having that ADU. Adding square footage to a property always adds value. The question, though, would be for your real estate agent is, am I outpriced in the neighborhood? Does this ADU give me a competitive edge over my neighbor who doesn't have one? Time to sell, that sort of thing. So lots of questions, good questions. And if you have any more questions, feel free to drop them in a comment or an email, or send us a note on Instagram or Twitter or wherever else you find us, and we will answer them in a future video. We'll actually try to answer you right back in the way you ask us, but we'll also include it in the next video. Okay, hopefully you now have a lot of ideas on how you can make money with your accessory dwelling unit. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, favorite, whatever you need to do, ring a bell, whatever platform you're watching on. Make sure that you don't miss our future videos where we're going to be continuing to talk about this and other exciting topics. Okay, until next time, I'm Tim Alatorre, Principal Architect with Domum. Thanks, guys.